Welcome back to Science and Spirituality on Supreme Master Television, featuring an interview with a prominent researcher of near-death experiences, Dr. Jeffrey Long of the USA. Over 1,000 near-death experiencers from all age groups, races, and religious backgrounds have documented their stories online at the Near-Death Experience Research Foundation website. Regardless of the variations in demographic profiles of these individuals, Dr. Long has discerned 9 common themes from these recorded experiences. He says that these similarities constitute 9 lines of evidence that, taken together, are conclusive proof of the existence of an afterlife. As he points out, no physiological or psychological explanation of NDEs can account for what is observed in NDEs. Some of the remarkable commonalities between reported near-death experiences include meeting deceased relatives, out-of-body experiences, and total consciousness while under general anesthesia.
And also you spoke about the volume of the near-death experiences we're talking about and the consistency of the stories.
A basic scientific principle is that which is real is consistently observed. So you would expect, if near-death experiences were real, you would consistently observe elements, not only among the over 1,300 I studied, but you'd also expect that consistency of what goes on during near-death experiences from what all the other researchers are seeing in the thousands of other near-death experiences that have been reported. Yes. And from extensive review of the scholarly literature and looking over what other researchers are seeing and having studied near-death experiences as I have, what we're observing in near-death experiences is consistently observed. And that consistency runs deep. We see the same consistency in the near-death experience among very small children. We see the same near-death experiences all around the world. It's as if it doesn't make any difference if you're a Hindu in India, a Muslim in Egypt, or a Christian in the United States. The similarity of the elements of near-death experience worldwide is striking over the last 5 or 10 years. There has been more and more scholarly research published, and that's research published in some of the most prestigious scientific and medical journals in the world. And I think perhaps as a result of that research, or perhaps scientists and physicians asking people that they know if they personally perhaps have experienced a near-death experience, I think for a variety of reasons, today we're having more open-mindedness among scientists and physicians about the reality of near-death experiences than we've ever seen before. As an overview, about 45% of people have an out-of-body experience in the sense that they see ongoing earthly events at a time they're unconscious or even clinically dead. That's called the out-of-body experience component of the near-death experience, and it's typically the first element that's observed. As part of my study, I asked, did you experience a separation of consciousness from your body? In response, 75.4% of our near-death experiencers said yes.
And I understand that the consciousness always goes above the body, that it's up on the ceiling, usually looking down.
Virtually all the time. Yes. It's quite rare to have the point of consciousness go below the level of the physical body. Very, very uncommon to have the point of consciousness at the same level as the physical body. Virtually all the time that there's an out-of-body experience, consciousness rises up above the body, maybe directly over the body or to some other area, sort of looking at the body from an angle. But in general, that's how an out-of-body experience works. Some of the most dramatic near-death experiences that I read involve the point of consciousness leaving far away from the physical body. They may travel outside of the emergency room where they've suffered, for example, a heart attack and cardiac arrest. They are actually able to see and hear ongoing events far from their physical body and far from any possible sensory awareness. For example, we've had people have consciousness and during this out-of-body experience part of their near-death experience go to the nursing station where they were, even though they are in the operating room with their heart stopped. We've had people in an operating theater where they had their heart stop, and then yet their consciousness was in the cafeteria of the hospital where they were seeing and hearing right at that point in time what their family was talking about. And that is absolutely medically inexplicable. An example of an out-of-body experience is I could feel my spirit actually leaving my body. I saw and heard the conversations between my husband and the doctors taking place outside my room, about 40 feet away down a hallway. I was later able to verify this conversation to my shocked husband.
Yep.
When they have their out-of-body experience, even if they were in an incredibly painful situation that caused them to nearly die, immediately they're feeling no pain at all. They may feel a profound sense of peace, connection. In fact, the most common word, what they feel, and what is described in near-death experience, is love. They feel love intensely, compassionately. They feel a connection, a unity of people that they see and all other people. Very dramatic, the incredibly intense positive emotions described in near-death experiences.
Our sincere thanks, Dr. Jeffrey Long, for speaking with us about your important research on near-death experiences. Next Monday on Science and Spirituality, in Part 2 of our 3-part series on NDEs, Dr. Long will further elaborate on the lines of evidence he considers proof beyond doubt of the afterlife, including blind people experiencing visual perceptions during their NDEs and small children giving near-death experience details similar to adults. For more details on Dr. Jeffrey Long, please visit www.nderf.org. Dr. Long's book, Evidence of the Afterlife, is available at www.amazon.com. Our appreciation, caring viewers, for your company on today's program. Next is Words of Wisdom after noteworthy news. May we all look within to discover who we truly are.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/SS